Hey there Stampers, and welcome to Simple Card Sunday. This week we're going to do a very simple SIP card. SIP means stamps, ink, and paper. So there's no other embellishments, no other tools needed other than your paper cutter and some stamps, some ink, and some paper. So let's get started. For the card today, I'm using our note cards with envelopes. I love these cards for super quick projects. They come pre-cut and pre-scored. There's 20 in a package. They come with envelopes as well, and you can get them in Whisper White or Crumb Cake. Super, super, super fun. So I'm going to start by folding this in half. Okay, right along that score line. So there's my card, and I just want to trim it down just a touch on a couple sides. So these cards, when they're folded, they measure 3.5 by 5. So I'm going to trim 1/8 of an inch off of the card. So it's going to be 4 7/8 is where I'm going to line that up. And just trim down. And then I'm going to turn it and line it up at 3 3/8. And go ahead and cut that. It's a little harder to cut through both layers, but it's easier in the end because it takes both of them off at the same time. So now that I've trimmed it a little, I'm going to go ahead and put my paper cutter aside, and we can get started with the stamping part of our card. Okay, so let me show you the stamp sets that I chose for the card this week. We have the Painted Petals set, which is one of the photopolymer sets you can find in the Occasions catalog. And then we have the A Dozen Thoughts set, which you can find in the annual catalog. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to start with my stems of my flowers, and for that I chose Wild Wasabi ink. So I'm going to go ahead and open that, and while I'm at it I'm going to go ahead and open Marina Mist. That's what I chose for the flowers. Okay, so I find it easier to do my stems first with this stamp. Some people find it easier to do the flowers first. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp them down just like that. Okay, Wild Wasabi's done, so we'll put that away so I don't stick my fingers in it. And I'm going to go ahead and ink up my flowers. Okay, so just like so, I'm going to ink them up and stamp them down. So the main image of our card is done. Super simple. Okay, so now I'm going to just embellish a little bit with some more stamps. So I chose the dotted line stamp that you can find in the Painted Petals set and some Crumb Cake ink. So what I'm going to do is ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it along the bottom. So I just lined up the bottom of my stamp with the bottom of the card, approximately, to make my line across the bottom of my card, like that. Okay. And then the last thing I want to stamp is my words. So I'm going to go ahead and take this stamp off. And the words I chose for my card was Just Because out of this set. I love all of the sayings in that set. There's something for almost everything. So I'll go ahead and get that stuck onto my block and open up my soft suede ink for the sentiment. Alright. So let's ink that up, and my trick to lining this up, I just stuck the part of the J that hangs down in between two dots. So you can see just right there, just like so. Stamp it down, and I have a Just Because stamped across my card now. So now to finish it off, we are going to mat it on a piece of Marina Mist cardstock. So this is why we trimmed a little bit off of our card, so that we could mat it on a little piece of cardstock and have it look like that. So my cardstock measures 3.5 by 5, and I did that so that it will still fit into the envelopes. Again, that's why we trimmed our card down in the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and put some snail on it and stick it on like so, and there you have it. A super simple, easy card to reproduce, and this, because they come in packs of 20, these note cards with envelopes, it's really easy to break out the whole pack, stamp a bunch of cards, and have them ready to go. You could change the sentiment for anything. You could make some birthday cards, some thank you cards, you could change the colors, you could have a good stack of them all set for all your needs. So I hope you enjoyed today's simple SIP card, and if you like what you see, make sure you go check out my blog because I have some more information on there about this card, and happy stamping!